Hello, welcome to Redmen TV. It's Uncensored match build-up show time. The FA Cup has returned, along with all the usual bollocks cliches that we'll doubtless get through in the next 20 minutes or so.
Let's play FA Cup cliche bingo.
Yeah.
Banana skin,
giant killing.
Giant killings.
Form book goes out the window.
Out the window, Paul.
I completely gone.
The weather leveller.
Yeah, exactly. Players' biggest games of their careers.
They'll be up for it.
They'll be back up for it.
So get you tune in, everyone, and tick off as we say those, because we're definitely going to say most of those.
There was one or two. So just kicking it off then, Chris, send in the kids for Liverpool FC.
I'm not sure. I've seen loads of Plymouth this season, right? They're flying.
I keep putting on my acca and they keep winning and all that.
Fucking, I love it. Elitist football snobbery. I watch them all the time. As if I watch League 2. Fucking League 2. League 2. Division 4. That's what it's called. Pricks. Anyway, carry on. Good team, good
it's probably time to bring the kids in, to be honest with you. Some Liverpool players look dead on the legs against Sunderland.
Dead on the legs?
Dead on their feet against Sunderland. That's one that you didn't have on bingo, did you?
Just mixing it up. Dead on the hips.
Dead on their shoulders. No, look, they did. They looked dead on the feet against Sunderland. And
got an old head on young waist there.
You've got to. It's time to play above the neck football again, Paul. I've said that a couple of times recently. Yeah. And we've got to be smart. Klopp's got to be smart in that he picks the right side for this game. And I'd like to see an experienced side go out there, not necessarily all kids, to be perfectly honest with you. I think we've got enough experience that we can still put a good, reasonable side out. Yeah. But it's got to be a side focused on winning the game first and foremost.
Look, it's got to be a team first and foremost that are hungry. That are hungry to win the game. I think that's probably one, isn't it? Yeah. It's got to be a team full of passion. And again, Liverpool have fallen into this trap countless times over the years. The FA Cup third round is like Liverpool's fucking kryptonite. I've seen us with my own two eyes. I saw us lose to Bolton, saw us lose to one of the Bristol sides. I never know the difference. Football elite is snobbery for you again, right there. Coventry City, seen those games, you know. And because what often happens is we play the fringe players. Now in the past, fringe players has basically meant the journeyman footballers, not good enough for the first team, who need a bit of a run out to freshen things up, blah, blah, blah. I feel slightly more confident this time around that we've got our fringe players are a combination of good footballers who need some game time and young kids who are desperate to prove themselves.
Yeah, I agree with Chris in that. I think it should be more like the League Cup team that we've been seeing recently. So it's been, you know, Trent Alexander-Arnold has been playing, but then Alberto Moreno's been playing on the other side. we saw Lucas and Klavan, didn't we? A centre half for the Spurs.
Spurs. Yeah.
I wouldn't play Klavan, I don't think. So I'd see if Joey Gomez is fit, for example, and if Lucas is still here, then by all means pick him and stuff. I wouldn't play I wouldn't play the youth team, but I would definitely rest anyone who's even in consideration for first team football the week after. You know, you've got big games. It's Swansea.
Southampton's next, isn't it?
Well, the League Cup's there as well. I'd even consider a mixed team in that, to be honest. I know we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. The league's just so important now. It's just massive all, and listen, I love winning trophies, and winning trophies is great. For now, I think I'd risk playing the and if you know what, and if we do get beat, I don't think it's the absolute end of the world. I hope we don't. And I know there'll be people saying, you know, Liverpool exists to win trophies, and I genuinely understand that, and I'm all for it. But the thing is, our reserve and kids should be good enough to be Plymouth. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's a mentality issue, isn't it? Yeah, you've got to put a team out that can win. But I just do not want to risk this title challenge, and it's already stuttering. I just don't think we can afford to risk more injuries.
I'd be framing this slightly different if I was Klopp. I wouldn't be framing it like look, it's time to rest all the first team players. I'd be going, look, here you go, lads. It's your time to get into that Southampton side in the semi-final, because those are the lads that have got us there. Yeah. I'd imagine they're going to be the same lads. You want to keep your place, you've got to perform well. If you don't perform well, you're not playing in a semi-final.
Yeah, my thing is that Liverpool should be trying to win, do everything in their power to win one domestic cup this season. And you can fall short.
But we're in the semi-finals.
I know we are, Steve, but bear with me a moment on this.
Go.
Is that, yeah, we've got the semi-final coming up against Southampton, but it's the third round of the FA Cup. Double down for a bit. You know what I mean? You don't need to. If we progress to the final of the League Cup, then a piece of silverware rests on 90 minutes or 120 minutes or whatever of football. I know we've got the third and fourth rounds both this month, and that could lead to a lot of fixtures.
It is, because I don't know where... Go on.
But for the third round in particular, keep your options open. So I think it's worth us not going as strong as we're physically able to without to the detriment. I don't think we should go underpowered for any reason. I don't think we should take this competition lightly, because there's every chance Southampton could fucking dick us everywhere on Wednesday, and then you're thinking, well, hang on, you're still closer to winning the League Cup than you are the FA Cup.
I get what you're saying. I'm not going to argue against you. What I will say, and I'll play devil's advocate here, is the fourth round is the 28th and 29th of January. We've got Chelsea on the 31st. I don't want to be in a position whereby, with the injuries that we've got at the minute, you're having to put first teamers in a game 3 days before Chelsea, most probably on the 28th, and then you're ruining your chances against Chelsea. That's a fucking cheap.
But the thing is, sorry, Steve, is that you get Plymouth a League Two game. This is as winnable a game as you're liable to get in the FA Cup. Now, you could draw Arsenal in the fourth round, and then you're going, shit, because then you've got two massive games, and that's maybe when I go, okay, we are we're doubling down on what we're, the things that really matter to us.
I generally speaking, I agree with you. Because I think this side needs games for those players, the fringe players, and we might have to call upon them later on in the season. If they're not getting games somewhere, the League Cup will be over. Yeah. Let's not forget that. Come March, April, and May, we'll be playing games, and there's a potential that we have no FA Cup fixtures, no European football, no League Cup fixtures. Where do those guys get games? And you might need them in the title running.
I don't think he should go. Last year, the X as the team, that was the kids and the app. That was Jose Enrique and Alori playing centre half. I wouldn't do that, but I would go your fringe players. So, like I say, I mentioned Lucas and Gomez, Moreno. Maybe it depends on if Milner's injured, it might not be worth risking Moreno. For example, there's things like that. Woodburn, Ajaria. So they're not the absolute. They're not your youth team. They're your squad players, aren't they? And that's what I would do.
I think you put a senior. And I mean this in terms of experience, not necessarily Liverpool senior players, aspiring in there,
Lucas,
to the best of your ability, because it's going to be
Stewart will play, won't he?
Well, it's going to be the Karius in goal, isn't it?
Yeah.
You'd imagine you put one senior centre half, so that'll be one of Clavan or Lovren in that team.
Is it too early for Matip?
I wouldn't even risk it. I wouldn't even.
I don't see any sense.
I would, for the simple fact that he's then got 7 days, hopefully, before Manchester United.
The fact that he's not even being mentioned
but then,
makes me think he's probably nowhere near.
I'd still do the same with Coutinho if available. I think because they've got 7 days before United, and you want to get some minutes under your belt.
I'm pretty sure neither of them are available.
No, I don't think so.
It's a shame.
Yeah, but then people have sprung surprising before. If there was completely no chance of them for Sunderland 6 days earlier, knowing what we know about how much training players have got to do and what have you, I can't see. But I agree. If Matip is ready to go, then you could do worse than put him in a game of football.
And we'll see Stewart in midfield. And I think he'll pick Origi up front, for example.
Yeah.
I'd play Woodburn and just go young Woodburn. I think he'll pick.
Depends on Sturridge though, doesn't it? Because apparently he's okay.
Yeah.
But again, I think a lot of it is who do you need to start up front against Southampton? That guy doesn't play the FA Cup, does he? So
I agree with Karius, by the way. I think it's a good game to get him back in, isn't it? Because he needs as cool and as calm as he looks on the outside and on his amazing social media, his confidence must be shot.
Yeah.
So hopefully he can come in and just have a quietish game and go from there.
Just quickly then, trivia time. Which ex-Red and current commentator played for both teams? That's that a little bit later on.
Oh. I think I know that.
Yeah, you should do.
I think I know it too.
Quick
I'll
one.
let you answer first.
So and the question is, does the Sunderland result impact team selection? And I'll frame that, if you go back to the start of the season, we lost to Burnley. We then had the League Cup game, immediately followed it, and we went very, very strong against, was it Burton at the time? And we just went out and put them to bed, got everyone's confidence back up and progressed. I don't think even if we wanted to do that, I don't think we'd go as strong. But is it an encouragement for the manager to maybe go a little stronger? Because there is something to be said, particularly the way that Klopp manages and the way he manages the fans and the players, that a Liverpool team that feels boss about itself is maybe makes up for a slight drop in terms of fitness levels or fatigue or whatever?
If you ask me, I would say no. I think that game was the second game of the season, third game of the season, and I think Klopp was used. I think he used that as almost a training game to, you didn't do what I wanted you to do against Burnley. Go and do it against Burton, and he did.
Yeah.
I think the fact that we just played 3 games in 6 days, I think it would just be foolish to just say, use it as a lesson. The Sunderland game, we didn't play horrendous. We just looked knackered at times. It was 2 stupid errors, wasn't it, that cost us points in that one. And it was an absolute kick in the bollocks, don't get me wrong. But I think Klopp wouldn't realise. He spoke afterwards about the basically they were knackered and stuff, and he had to go with the fixtures and the TV companies and stuff. I think he'll go very much League Cup, but I don't think he'll. Last year he almost hated the FA Cup. He just didn't what he went asked. Even when we got West Ham at home, me and you went, funny enough, and it was Cam Brannigan and Kev Stewart in midfield with Enrique come on and stuff. I don't think he'll go that. I think he'll just go the subs.
Given that we nearly progressed past a pretty much full strength West Ham team with a team of misfits.
The only thing I would say is that the last thing he wants is a replay. He just does not want a replay, does he? He just doesn't want that. So it might be a case of have a strong bench.
Well, this is the thing, is that
you could have a strong bench.
I suspect there'll be a decision made, and that it might be a case of maybe Wijnaldum wouldn't have played, but I think one of Wijnaldum and Lallana will play this, because I don't think we've got too many options really in terms of those positions anyway. I think we might just go 1 or 2 more than maybe we would have done under other circumstances, because I think, again, it is exactly what you're saying there. If nothing else, get the game won in the first half. Do what you want. It's a nice.
The other option is to play a younger team and have a bench chocker full. So your bench could go, depending on his fitness, Milner. You could have one of your centre halves. You could have Lallana. You could have Wijnaldum, Origi, for example, and just go. If it's close with 20 to go, we'll just bring 2 or 3 of these lads on and try and win it. I think that's exactly what he will do. Very much. He done it in the League Cup. Our League Cup bench has been surprisingly strong. Yeah. It's just that he hasn't. The first team hasn't. I think that's what he would do, and I think that's probably the right decision. And again, then we'll look at Southampton, and I think he'll go full strength at Southampton. So I think he's happy to give them a week off and to say, you know what. So I don't think you'll see anyone who took a knock or anyone who looked like Firmino looks knackered. Yeah. I just wouldn't put anywhere near the 18. Yeah. Milner took a knock, maybe him. Sturridge took a knock, just forget about it. Henderson, Matip, I wouldn't put Matip on and stuff.
You think even if we talked before, even if Milner's a doubt for Middlesbrough, I think Moreno probably plays anyway, because it's not like he's played any football this season. It's not like he needs. He's not enough. His tank is running low, is he? In the tank, he's probably going to be capable of playing a couple of games in a relatively short space of time. And also, who the fuck else have we got who can play that position if we needed to anyway? Is there anyone, Kiss, that you think? And we're not going to trample on the starting 11 prediction too much, but is there anyone you feel we need to keep in that side?
Need to keep in the side.
So the team that started, whether it's the team that started Sunderland or what you would consider to be our strongest available 11. So you think?
I think maybe Emre Can could be an option for us. I know you mentioned one of Wijnaldum or Lallana, but I actually think that we might see a Kev Stewart or a Lucas in there with an Emre Can, and I think he might be the driving force behind that midfield, and see if he can overpower that midfield. And if he I think that would be a good option for us anyway.
Yeah.
If you hadn't took that knock, I'd have said Sturridge. I just played and said, you know what, Dan, just go and win us this game 2-0. Yeah. Score 2 goals and we'll be fine, because he's that good. Yeah. He's not available now, so
he might be available.
I mean, who knows? I don't think he'd risk him, but I now think I would play Woodburn. I think he'll play Origi, and I think his point.
Do you think he'd start Woodburn?
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he would.
I think Ajaria might.
Yeah, I think he'd start Ajaria. I think he will start Ajaria, but I don't want to go too much on your show. I would start Woodburn. I think he'll pick Origi, and for the same reason. We just need to win and get off the pitch, because the last thing we don't want to be embarrassed, because it's embarrassing to lose, but we really don't want to draw.
This game for me is a big one for, and it's not answering the question that I asked earlier, but fuck it, because I can do what I want. It's a big game for Ovie Ejaria. I think this could be his last opportunity. This is the last opportunity he's going to have to definitely start a game of football. There's a good chance he won't start another game of football this season, just because we know we don't like to rotate too much in terms of the first 11. And particularly with the League Cup games coming up, he's got the potential to make himself a real option. I'll go back to the League Cup games, and I can't remember whether it was Leeds or Spurs. I've kind of muddled them in my head a little bit. one of those games he looked really good in the first half, and we rejigged it around in the second half. He had less of an impact. He could do at this level. Ovie Ejaria should be running games, playing in one of the front five, well, one of the four of the front five positions anyway. And then we've seen him too often be on the bench, and he's clearly not an option to impact games. Yeah. I'd like him to come into this game, do something, and be like, Jurgen, Southampton coming up, you can trust me that with 15 minutes left to go in the game, bring me on, mate, and I can make something happen for you.
No, of all the young players, I think he's the one who's closest, without an injury. So, for example, if Klein got injured, Trent would play.
Yeah.
But I think he's the only one who could do something where, if things need freshening up in midfield, where Adam Lallana on the two biggest distances over 2 days. Yeah. That's great. It's fantastic, but it's going to take a toll.
Yeah.
I think we need. I think we are one more in there, especially with Henderson having a knock, who you just need to be able to rotate in, and I agree, it's him. So it is a big game for him, I'm convinced he will start, and I hope he
Any outsiders, as in terms of players playing for the under-23s, who we've not seen a glimpse of in the first team yet?
Possibly Harry Wilson, just because we mentioned before we are a little bit short in attack. I wouldn't be surprised if he got in. He's been playing really well for the 23s, captaining them, I think, at the moment, isn't he? He's one. In fact, he's probably the only one I could imagine, unless the manager just decides to go full weakness and play a Laurie, which I wouldn't. Yeah. Then I think Harry Wilson's close. Other than that, I don't know. They're all good.
I'd love it if we just played that under 23 team, so it was like
Sacco and
Laurie at the back and all that kind of fuck it, go ahead.
Yeah, just see what happens of it.
Key man prediction. Pick a name, any name.
The goalie. I think it's massive. Yeah. I think it's massive for the goalie. He doesn't even have to play well. He just doesn't need to do something stupid. Just don't do anything that brings attention. Just save everything, catch everything. If one goes past you that you're not meant to save, sound. Just don't do anything stupid, mate, because you just don't need it. We don't need it, and you don't need it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Kind of what you were saying before for me, Ovie Ejaria. I think, just to echo what you've said, I think he has to come in and run the game. No more than that, really.
I'm backing Ben Woodburn to come off the bench and score another goal.
Hopefully, that'd be great.
Be happy with that. Be happy with that. 2 or 3-0 up. Woodburn comes on for the last 15 just to get himself some more minutes. Nice. And just does another. I want to see that face again. That'd be great. Score predictions, Steve?
2-0.
Cool.
4-0.
Go ahead. I'm right in the middle. I'll go for a 3. There's no score predictions, key man predictions, comments below. Trivia then. Which ex-Red and current commentator played for both?
Is it Mellor?
Nope.
I was thinking Beglin.
Jim Beglin, well done.
Just because you said commentator, he's the only commentator I can think of.
Yeah, fantastic. And as a bonus, which former Liverpool goalkeeper played for both?
I know that one. Grobler, definitely.
Brucey. Well done, Steve.
It's my job, no?
It's Chris's job as well, to be fair. So there you go, if you got them right, good on you, fantastic humans. If you want to watch more phenomenal Redmen TV content, obviously January transfer window is open.
You're so much better
than
me
than this. The Reds transfer roundup is there. Go and watch it at redmentv.com, completely free for everyone, £2 a month. We actually did the best part of an hour talking about Liverpool transfers. It's all you need to get you through the January transfer window. Click and subscribe.